All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Wherever in the world you are joining us from, welcome to our mental health awareness series. This is our second series. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sharika Anderson, and I'm the CEO of iEvolve Global. And I'm truly happy to have you here with me tonight. Listen, we are in for a treat. Now, May is recognized as Mental Health Awareness Month, and throughout this month, we will be hosting weekly sessions aimed at increasing awareness, encouraging conversations, and helping persons better understand mental health and emotional well being. It is important to note, though, that these sessions are purely educational in nature. They are designed to create awareness and provide information, but they do not provide diagnosis or replace professional assessment or treatment. All right? Now, before we continue, before we go any further, I want to encourage you to share and subscribe. Go ahead right now and share this link with someone who will need this information. Listen up. You never know who may be silently struggling and simply needs access to the right conversation, to support, or to awareness. Listen, mental health challenges continue to affect millions of people globally. According to WHO, nearly 1 in 7, can you believe that? 1 in 7 people worldwide live with a mental health disorder. Yet the reality is, many persons are either unaware they need help or they are not receiving the support they need. Mental health conditions are also one of the leading causes of disability worldwide and significantly impact our relationships, our work, our physical health, and our overall quality of life. That is why we are here. That is why these conversations matter. You can play your part in changing the narrative around mental health by helping to spread the word, helping to spread awareness, helping to reduce stigma, and not only that, by encouraging people to seek help when needed. So, before we go any further, let's take a minute, just one, right now, to share the link, invite someone, and then we can continue the conversation tonight. So let's break and go share it. Let me, you see, I'm taking up my phone because I'm going to do it. Have you done it yet? Go ahead. Like, share, comment, share it with somebody. Invite somebody to be a part of the conversation. All right. Let's see. There's somebody out there who needs to hear what we'll be discussing tonight. So it's okay if we take 30 seconds to share the link with somebody and say, hey, come on over. We gotta be a part of this conversation. Think about that girlfriend. Think about that family member. Think about that cousin, that uncle, that auntie who needs to be a part of it. Because guess what? They're not going to see a person. So this is the best thing. This is the best thing. So go ahead and share it. We have 15 more seconds and then we'll jump right in because we have a lot to say tonight. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to cover. But we want to make sure that you take the time to just invite someone in. Alright. I hope that you're hearing me clearly. Are you hearing me clearly? Yes? No? Maybe? Is it any better? All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. I hope that you can hear better now because I want you to be able to hear me. We can't be on tonight and you're not hearing. We have a whole lot of things to say, a lot of important things. All right, so we're gonna get going. We are going to get going. So welcome again. Tonight our topic is strong but still human. Tonight we are focusing on women and mental health. Women and mental health. Strong but still human. Managing emotional load and burnout among Caribbean women. The truth is, Caribbean women are often celebrated for their resilience, their sacrifice, their strength, and their ability to hold everything together. But behind that strength, many women are silently carrying emotional exhaustion, chronic stress, trauma, and burnout. In our conversation this evening, we're going to be talking about the emotional realities many women face. We're going to look at why women are especially vulnerable to emotional overload. And we're going to be talking about how healing and recovery can begin. So, you see, you need to make sure that your sister is on. You need to make sure that your cousin is on. You need to make sure that all your female family members are on. And not only them, but the male counterparts, because men tell the truth. Sometimes we just don't understand it. Like the female just seem a little bit more moody, a little bit more emotional than normal. So tonight we want to look at that. What's causing that? What's contributing to that? And how else can we really support them? So I want you to think on these questions. How many of you feel mentally tired even when you sleep? How many of you feel guilty resting? You know, we should be busy, 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 busy. How many of you feel that way? How many of you feel responsible for everybody else's well-being? We just need to take care of everybody. How many of us tonight feel we have to stay strong no matter what? We have to stay strong. We have to hold it together. Many women have mastered functioning while emotionally depleted. We still go to work. We still take care of the children. We still show up at church. We still smile. We still perform. And guess what? We do it good. But internally, we are overwhelmed. We're disconnected. We are exhausted. We are anxious. Or we're just emotionally numb. One of the dangerous things about burnout is that people can look fine for a very long time. So if we're going to judge by the looks, then we will be deceived. So let's look at what is mental health. Mental health, really and truly in its simplest form, refers to our emotional, psychological, and our social well-being. It's very important because it influences how we think, it influences how we feel, it influences how we respond to stress, how we relate to others, how we make decisions, how we cope with life. It's important that we know that mental health is not simply the absence of mental illness. So many of us were walking around and we're saying, oh yeah, my mental health is solid just because I don't have a diagnosis. That is not true. Not true at all. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. A woman may not have a diagnosis, but she can still be emotionally overwhelmed, constantly anxious, mentally fatigued, emotionally disconnected, and struggling internally. And if we're really honest tonight, some of us can relate to all of that. Many Caribbean women normalize burning is not always the same as being emotionally healthy. They're two different things. Two completely different things. Now, are women more vulnerable to emotional overload and burnout? What do you think? Do you think that women are more susceptible to experiencing burnout? Yes? No? Maybe? Let's delve in. It is said that women are more vulnerable. Women are more susceptible. Why? Several factors have been given actually. Number one are the biological factors. Women experience hormonal fluctuations. We have to deal with the menstrual cycle changes, and can we honestly can we be honest and say, boy, around that time it's like we turn into different people. We are moody, we are crying for nothing at all. I don't know if you can relate, but I can relate. One at a time after I don't ball, I said to myself, but girl, what were you crying for? Nothing at all makes sense, But because of the hormones that are involved in the menstrual cycle, we cry, we exaggerate. The world is falling apart over the simplest things. But then we also have to deal with pregnancy and postpartum shifts. And also menopause related emotional changes. We don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about that enough. And you know what? Persons will tell you that when they are experiencing menopause at the onset, during the peri period before the actual menopause, it's crazy. It's difficult to deal with. All kind of things are happening. And the truth is that our hormones influence our mood. It influences our stress response. It affects our sleep, and it affects our emotional regulation. So, yes, we are more vulnerable because of the biological factors. So, it is said that women are nearly twice as likely as men to experience anxiety and depressive disorders. Whoa. So that means that you may know some females right now, they may have not been diagnosed, but guess what? They're experiencing anxiety. They're experiencing depression. Quite possibly. So those are the biological factors. But then there are also psychological factors too. Hear this. Women are often socialized to nurture others. So they are constantly taking care of people. All who don't need them to take care of them. They are taking care of others. They're nurturers. But not only that, many of us, we suppress our emotions. So somebody will say, hey, how you doing? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm good. Hey, how are you? I'm fine. But that's not true. We are socialized to maintain harmony. We're socialized to avoid disappointing people. We are socialized to carry emotional responsibility. So many of us, we internalize stress instead of expressing it. So we keep it all in because we have to hold it together. We can't afford to fall apart. And then this in turn leads to overthinking. It leads to guilt. It leads to emotional suppression. And it leads to chronic worry. So we are locked in a cycle, an ongoing cycle. And then thirdly, we have the social and cultural factors, why women are considered more vulnerable or more predisposed. Women frequently carry multiple roles simultaneously. So we have the women being mothers, caregivers, wives, partners, employee. Some of them are employers, church worker, community leader, and they're the emotional support system for a lot of persons. Right? So what you're seeing is several roles. And if I should ask you how many roles you are carrying right now, you could easily list about 5. You not even have to think very hard. You can list at least 5 roles that you're carrying. And the truth is, we are taught very early to handle it. Girl, you see a problem? Handle that. Girl, something is going wrong. Take care of it. We are taught to push through it. Don't quit. Girl, you can't give up now. You better keep going. So we're taught to push through it. And it's not only push through it, We are taught not to complain. You better not complain. You better not complain. Don't complain. And you better be strong, right? You have to be strong. You have to hold it together. You have to take care of everybody. Now, the reality is, unfortunately, many women, we learn survival before we learn emotional wellness. And if we're not careful, we spend all our lives in survival mode and never being truly well emotionally. I love statistics. So let me tell you what the statistics are saying. So you know that I'm not just here talking, but the statistics shows that women are nearly twice as likely to experience anxiety disorders. The statistics also shows that depression remains one of the leading causes of disability among women worldwide. The statistics also shows that working women report significantly higher emotional exhaustion rates than men. Aye. The statistics also shows that caregivers experience elevated burnout and chronic stress levels. So you see, I'm not making this up. This is what the statistics showing. And if we think about it, we are experiencing all kind of things. We have the financial pressure, caregiving. I don't want to say caregiving burdens, but caregiving responsibilities. We have single parenting stress. We have trauma exposure. We have pressure at work. We have limited access to emotional support. Listen, it's a whole lot. It is a whole lot. So guess what? Many women are not truly coping well. But we don't tell you that. We don't tell you that we're struggling. We don't tell you that we're not sleeping well at night. We don't tell you that we don't have any appetite. We don't tell you that we just can't bother. We don't tell you all of that. Many women are not truly coping. They're surviving. Barely surviving. Some women have become so accustomed to stress that they no longer recognize when they're emotionally overwhelmed. They just think that it's normal. They just think that, yeah, this is my reality. So let's talk about the emotional load. What is that really? What is emotional load? Emotional load refers to the invisible mental and emotional responsibility we carry daily. So what does this include? Remembering everything. We remember the birthdays. We remember when it's class party. We have to remember when it's PTA. We have to remember the deadlines at work. Remembering everything. Not only that, but planning everything. We're planning for the vacation. We're planning for financial stability. We're planning for financial sustainability in the family in the future. We're planning for university. We're planning just in case some emergency happen. Constantly planning everything. Anticipating needs because we don't want to be caught off guard. So we are 10 steps ahead at all time. So we're anticipating what's going to go wrong and we're coming up with a plan for that. Then we're managing emotions. We are carrying family concerns. The entire family, children, husband, extended family. We're just carrying everybody problem. So we are the ones often managing the children's schedules. We are the ones often concerned about the emotional well-being of family members. We are the ones with the household responsibilities. We are the ones with relationship maintenance on our minds. We are the one taking care of our parents too. So we're taking care of children, we're taking care of parents, we're taking care of extended family. And we are also balancing all of that with work demands, with church obligations. No, sir, that's enough things. You know what's the truth? Even when women rest physically, many never rest mentally. My gosh. So we're lying in the bed, but our minds are still going. We are trying to sleep, but our minds are still working, 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 working. You know, it never rests, man. Never rest. But it continues. That's not where it stops. So let's look at some of the signs of emotional load. The emotional signs, irritability, which is miserable. Like, sometimes people can't even understand what really are going with you because I just pass and tell you morning and you're good, and by the time I come back and say morning again, you just lose it. But yeah, tell me morning, fella, just tell me morning already. Like, I don't want nobody talk to me and you just go off. You're just miserable. Right? Especially at home, sometimes the children I say, Jesus, mommy, that's not really necessary, right? And I will tell them to say so because then you just go off again. You're not the manners, you're not the behavior. We're just irritable. The least thing upsets us. Then there's crying easily. The least thing. The tears just flow. You just lock yourself in the bathroom. You know that style, right? You just lock up in the bathroom, bust a one ball, come out, wash your face, and go again. I can't relate, not you. I know, you don't need to say it. Are you going out the car? You allow the tears to flow and then you just dry it quickly and you show up again like Superwoman, like nothing happened. Then there's emotional numbness. It's like you just can't feel anything. You don't feel joy, you don't feel pain, you don't feel anything at all. You're just numb. Then there's this matter of hopelessness. There's frustration. Those are some of the emotional signs of emotional load. Then there is mental signs. Brain fog. My gosh. You're trying to find one word and you just can't find it. Forgetfulness. You can't remember nothing. Not a thing you can't remember. You know, you have to write down everything or you have to save it in your phone. Else, you just not remember. And there's also overthinking. Our inability to focus. You just can't focus, man. You're just just all over the place. My God. And of course, too, we have the physical signs. So tiredness, fatigue, you sleep, you get your full 8 hours, but you're still tired. Then you have the aches and the pains, headache, backache, all kind of aches. And then if you go doctor maybe not find nothing wrong because it's psychological in nature. Then there may be insomnia, you just can't sleep or you're oversleeping. There may be stomach issues. And you have your behavioral signs too. Withdrawing from others. Like you can't bother with the peopling. It's too much peopling. I just want to be alone. I want to stay in my room. No, I don't want to go to that concert. Don't invite me. I don't want to go to that worship session. Don't invite me. I love the Lord, but I don't want to be around people. I want to be by myself. And this withdrawing sometime too, it comes up in our messages. People messaging you, but you just not answer. You just can't bother. You're withdrawing from people. Procrastination. You know, say after something for doing, you know, a long time too, but you just don't do it. Then there's the whole matter of emotional eating. You just go buy a big slice of cake. And then after the cake, you go Popeyes, I go KFC, and you just eat something unhealthy. I don't know why, you know, but sometimes when you're overwhelmed, eating the unhealthy food, it just looks something. Not true. You know the answer. I can speak. Last week, I was feeling so overwhelmed. I was just feeling out of it. Too many things are happening. And I just got Popeyes. I mean, I tell you, sir, after I had the unhealthy food, somehow I felt better. So I want us to pay attention to that. Even if you don't realize what's happening, you may start to feel that you're craving certain kind of food. So pay attention to that. All right? So those are some of the signs. Now, sometimes women become so overwhelmed that they disconnect emotionally from their very self. So they may continue functioning while internally there's this feeling of emptiness. They feel detached from everybody and everything, and there's this emotional exhaustion. Now, here's the truth about emotional exhaustion. You could sleep from now till tomorrow morning, man. Emotional exhaustion is not cured that way. So you may be wondering why I still feel like this. Yeah. It's not just the regular physical tiredness. You may be depleted emotionally. Now let's switch and talk about burnout. Burnout is like a buzzword. Everybody talking about burnout. Burnout, 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 burnout. But I don't know if it's getting better. I don't know if it's getting better. I don't know if we still fully understand it. I can bet you right now that many of us we are experiencing burnout. Now, I want you to hear this. Burnout is more than being tired. It's not just being tired. It is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. So some of us, we have been stressed for so long. So now, it's not just stress anymore. Now we are experiencing burnout. Some of the symptoms may be similar to what was said before, so I'm going to just repeat it. And I want you to check yourself. Because guess what? If you don't know, you can't fix it. If you don't know, you can't get help. So awareness is important. So symptoms of burnout, emotional exhaustion. You know, just feel like, boy, listen, we just have nothing else to give. Feeling emotionally drained and depleted. I'm so sorry. I want to be happy for you and jump over the place and dance and sing, but me just can't do it right now. Me just not have the emotional capacity to do it right now. Then there's detachment, feeling disconnected from everybody. There's noted reduced effectiveness. You're not as effective as you used to be. Your productivity is affected. You're not the top performer at work anymore. And you sometimes feels like nothing you do is enough. How many of those signs you actually have? Maybe you should make note of it so that you can address it. Now, there's another important thing that we have to look at as we talk about the woman and her mental health. As we talk about strong but still human, and it's trauma. Trauma and the Caribbean woman. Listen, we experience so many traumatic experiences. We have so many traumatic experiences. Childhood neglect, physical and emotional. We experience abandonment. There's domestic abuse, betrayal, sexual abuse, all kind of abuse, poverty-related trauma. Can I say church hurt too? All of these things, And you know what happens when we experience trauma? We develop survival responses. So what starts to happen is we have this hyper independence. Oh, me not depend on nobody. I have to do it myself. I have to hold it together. Hyper independence. Then we develop this overworking kind of thing, Many of us, we're doing so many things. We're so busy. But busy does not equate to being productive, We also start to overfunction. We start people pleasing. So we say yes to everybody. We overextend ourselves. Sharika, can you do this? Yes. Sharika, can you yes. I'm so sorry to ask you this last minute, but can you do this? Yes. Sharika, can you go here? Yes. People pleasing. And we also develop the inability to rest. It's a trauma response. So for some women, we became strong because vulnerability never felt safe. We never had that support system in place to say, you can be vulnerable. We never had that kind of support in place to say, Sharika, you don't have to have it together all the time, you know. Girl, just leave it. I'll carry it. We don't have that system in place. And so whenever we start to feel vulnerable, we start to feel unsafe. And so we change that quickly. The next thing that we have going for us is the strong black woman syndrome. We have this strong black woman mentality. Strong black woman. And somehow we have internalized messages like, don't let them see you cry. You have to be strong for you and everybody else, mother and grandmother and everybody. We have this message internalized that you can handle it. So even if it is to move the mountain, you can handle it. And somehow we tell ourselves, people depend on you, so you have to show up. People depend on you, so if you don't even feel like it, you still have to go. The problem, though, is that strength becomes our identity. And so vulnerability begins to feel like weakness. So you feel like you have to have it together all the time. And then this have consequences, right? So then there's the whole matter of emotional isolation that we feel. We don't feel supported, we don't feel understood. Then there's also untreated anxiety and depression that can develop as a result. There's delayed help-seeking practices. So we don't rush to get help at all. we go very slowly. And sometimes we go when there's no other way out. Strength is not bad. I want you to hear me say this. Strength is valuable. It's commendable. But when strength becomes emotional suppression, women suffer silently. And many of us, we are suffering right now silently. We are. So after all of that, let's talk about healing and recovery. Healing and recovery. The first thing I want you to know is that healing is possible. Tell yourself that. Say, Sharika, healing is possible. Say, Renee, healing is possible. Healing is possible. So that's where we want to start. We want to start by knowing that healing is possible. The next thing is that emotional honesty is required. Boy, I don't know, but we are so good at lying to ourselves. We are pros at lying to ourselves, man. We lie to ourselves good. But if we're going to be healed, honesty is a requirement. So we have to acknowledge that I am overwhelmed. We have to acknowledge that I am tired. And we also have to acknowledge that I need support. We have to acknowledge it. We can't deny it. We can't pretend it's not there. Secondly, boundaries. Boundaries is another buzzword. Everybody talking about boundaries. But are we setting boundaries? Are we enforcing our boundaries? Are we just talking about boundaries, 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 boundaries? Boundaries, setting our boundaries and enforcing our boundaries is an important part of the healing process. So, guess what? We have to learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. Sharika, can you do this? I'd love to, but I'm unable to do it right now. Can you wait a week? Or just no, I'm unable to. And it's okay if it's no, I don't want to. That's fine too. We have to learn to protect our energy. Pay attention. What is it that drain your energy? I know once I don't get enough sleep, listen, that's it for me, man. It takes a while to recover. My energy is low. So you have to protect your energy. What are those things that give you that energy boost? Maybe it's somebody, when you talk to that person, you feel like I can take on the whole world. Or maybe it's when you watch your favorite movie. Or maybe it's when you avoid certain people. Pay attention to what boosts your energy and what drains your energy. We also have to get with it, We have to address the overcommitment thing. We have to deal with that. We are overcommitting constantly and then overextending ourselves. We have to fix that. The next thing is rest. We live in a culture that idolizes busyness. It's like a badge of honor. Oh, I have 10 side hustles. Oh no, I can't sleep. I have to be on working on this project. And we listen, we celebrate it in a man. And if you're not doing all of that, sometimes it feels like, oh yeah, you're not going with nothing. Yeah, we waste your life. But guess what? Rest is not laziness. Rest is important for restoration. Rest is necessary for recovery. You have to make time to rest. Have you ever wondered why the Bible said that God rests on the Sabbath? If God Himself rested, what about you and me? We have to make time to rest. So, we mentioned the emotional honesty, we mentioned boundaries, we mentioned rest, and fourthly, support system. Too many of us are walking around with just Jesus and I, my Jesus and I, we have a good thing going on. That's good. I'm happy for that. But we are social beings. We were created to need people. We were created to depend on people. So we have to get it together. We need support system. We have to ensure that we have healthy friendships. That's the other thing. Sometimes we have friendships, but they are toxic. You don't have to say a thing. Just listen. You don't have to say yay or nay, because I know I'm talking the truth. So we have no friend, but you know the level of toxicity, make no sense. So we want to have healthy friendships. Join a support group if you need it. Find out where can you join a support group, or you start one. Put up something on your status that say, hey guys, I want to start a support group for persons dealing with depression. Are you interested? And start it. So you get support for yourself and you get to support other people. Or if you don't want to do any of that, just find a counselor. Go to counseling. Right? Number 5, self-compassion. Self-compassion. We are guilty of not showing ourselves the same compassion that we show other people. We extend grace to others. We show them grace, man, and we are patient with others. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Don't worry, it gets better. Don't worry about it, you will be okay. But when it is you, grace gone through the window, you are extremely harsh towards yourself. You know what's true? You don't talk to anybody else the way you talk to you. If persons could hear the conversation you have with yourself sometime, they would be in awe. They would be like, really, Sharika, we are talking to so. Not only that, you would not allow anybody else to talk to you or you talk to you. You would not have it. How dare you speak to me like that? But guess what? You are there talking down to yourself, being extra critical of yourself, being extremely negative. You are not kind to you. And healing requires kindness toward self. So let's recap. Healing is possible, right? And these are the things that you can do. The first one is emotional honesty. You have to acknowledge that, yeah, we need help. Secondly, you have to work on your boundaries. So you have to learn to say no. You have to protect your energy and you have to stop overcommitting. You know, my boss said something to me. When was it? One day this week. He's like, Sharika, listen, we can't save the world, so might as well we save ourselves. And that sounds really selfish, but that's true. It's self-preservation. We're out here trying to save everybody, even adults. And we are doing it at the expense of our own emotional and mental well-being. So we have to reduce the overcommitment. We have to prioritize resting. We have to establish our support system. And we have to be kinder to ourselves. Right? Now let's look at some practical strategies that you can start with right now. Daily emotional check-ins. Check in with yourself. In the same way how you take up your phone and you call your daughter or you call your mother and check on them, check in with you. Ask, what am I feeling right now? It may feel weird at first. You maybe can't find the answer, but as you do it more and more, it gets better. So ask yourself, what am I feeling today? What do I need right now? Do I need to go sleep? Do I need to just get some ice cream and chill and watch a movie? Do I need to call somebody and just talk? What do I need? And ask yourself, what is draining me that I need to get rid of right now? Who do I need to block? All right, that sounds extreme. No, block them. But who do I need to not answer the next time they call? Or who do I need to put in archive? So, their message is not popping up. Who do I need to ignore the phone when they call and just let it ring, and call them back when you're in a better space? Sit with yourself and do some daily check-ins. Like, somebody will call and I'm like, no, Sam, I can't handle this right now. I'll call back later. Let me go sleep first. And I just go sleep and get my act together, get an energy boost, and then I'm like, oh, hey, I noticed you were calling me. What's up? Yeah, I do that. And I don't have any problem doing it either because I'm sure you want me to show up as my best self. You want me to be present when you're talking to me, right? Yes, I have to make sure that um, I'm showing up well, and that involves just taking care of me. The next thing is stop emotionally suppressing or stop suppressing your emotions. Healthy emotional expression matters. So maybe it's journaling because you don't really want to talk about your problem. That's all right. You don't have to talk. Some people, them talk about it and them feel better. Some people, them write about it and them feel better. Some people just sit down in the car and will a talk with Jesus and bawl through it and them feel better. But healthy emotional expression is important. Also, prioritize physical wellness. So prioritize your sleep, prioritize hydration, prioritize movement. Take the stairs, man. Leave the elevator. Take the stairs. And pay attention to nutrition. Pay attention to what you are eating. Next strategy, seek professional help. Counseling is not weakness. Therapy does not mean you have failed. In fact, it takes strength to go and see a therapist. And finally, listen, create space for joy. Do the things that make you happy now. If it is TikTok, no judgment over here. Go on your TikTok and scroll. Just monitor the time so you don't spend 3, 4, 5 hours scrolling. If it is Instagram, if it is YouTube, go and find something that's full of humor and watch it and laugh out loud too. Right? Create space for joy. If it is that your grandchildren give you that burst of energy and joy, spend time with them. Yeah, them rude. And they might have blood pressure after. But still, just have them in the space, hug them up, take care of them. Women, we have to recognize that we deserve peace. We deserve laughter. We deserve softness. We have become so hardened. We have become so hardened. But guess what? We deserve softness, right? Caribbean women are resilient. We big up on yourself. We are resilient. We are nurturing. We are powerful. We are capable. But we're still human beings. And we deserve care. We deserve to be healed. We deserve to be supported. We deserve rest. And we deserve emotional and psychological safety. So we're coming down tonight. But I want to ask you, who takes care of the woman who takes care of everybody else? Let me ask it another way. Who takes care of you? Because you're busy taking care of everybody else except you. Who takes care of you? Strong women break too. And survival mode is not the same as wellness. The truth is, you do not have to collapse before you seek support. So, as we close tonight, I want to remind you that awareness without action does not lead to change. It is one thing to recognize the signs, but it's another thing to take intentional steps towards healing, support, and emotional well being. So, tonight, I want to encourage you to take care of you. Self-care is not selfish. Talk to your pastor. Talk to a trusted friend. Talk to your mentor. Or consider speaking with a counselor or a mental health professional. In fact, tonight I have good news. And there's a flyer that I'm going to share with you. We have good news tonight. At iValve Global, we currently have a special initiative called 5 for 25, where you access 5 counseling sessions for only 25,000. And that's just 5,000 per session. Consider it an investment into you. So if you've been considering getting support, this may be a great opportunity to start your healing journey. The flyer's on the screen. It will be posted too. Maybe you can share it with someone who needs this kind of support. There's also a link that I want to share with you. So I know you've been listening. If it is that you would like a copy of tonight's notes and resources, we're going to be dropping a link in the chat shortly. It takes just about 2 minutes to complete. Simply complete the form and we will email you the material. I know, maybe you want to share it with somebody else. Maybe it was so good that you want to keep it close by so you can go back to it. Or maybe you weren't able to take notes. That's okay. We took that into consideration and we want to share it with you. Before you go, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And invite someone to join us next week as we continue our mental health awareness series. Next week, we're going to be talking about children and mental health. You can't afford to miss it because sometimes we don't give our children the kind of support they need because we don't know how to support them. So save the date, set your alarm, and look out for us next week, same time. Thank you again for spending this time with us tonight. Do we have any questions? Is there any question in the chat? No? Let me check. Ooh, let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, I'm seeing my twin. Hey, Twinny. I'm seeing Uncle Roy. Shout out to Uncle Roy. Shout out to Rosie. Thank you all so much for joining us. All right, there seem to be no question. Just go ahead and complete the form if you'd like the information. Thank you again for being with us. Please remember to take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. And remember, you do not have to struggle alone. Good night, everyone. Walk good. See you next week.